Y'all did it once, it's me again. I drop Los Angeles for all you haters. I'm back with this fearless, you know what I'm saying? You cats in LA, some of y'all half-stepping, thinking y'all doing it better than me. You wanna be? Bring it to the plate. You know what? Let's go.
We out on the show, we doing what we do. One side red and the other side blue. Niggas ain't tripping, we out having fun. When you living in a city that sets with the sun. We out on the show, we doing what we do. One side red and the other side blue. Niggas ain't tripping, we out having fun. When you living in a city that sets with the sun.
Yo, what's the deal, man? We back again west of the 110, working out some kinks on this new system, man. Shout out first and foremost to the Texans for pulling off a fabulous win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was a beautiful win. Man, that was a beautiful win. What's up, Russ? How you feel about that win, man?
Oh, man, that was great, man. It was about the best game I've seen all year.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm proud of him.
Real proud of it, man. I'm proud of Davis Mills, man. Shout out to Davis Mills. It ain't no BS to show you it's real. You see, got the Texan gear on, still rocking it. So we here. Shout out to everybody out there. But yeah, man, today this show right here, man, the hustle they don't talk about. Like, I'm talking about these store owners, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna touch on a few things tonight. But basically say stuff you're getting charged for at stores that you shouldn't be getting charged for. A lot of stuff that happened around you right under your nose. A lot of fraudulent things that happen at stores right around you, stores you may have went to, things like that. It's a lot of stuff that went on. Stuff like government shutdown, I think, if safe to say, is officially over. Our president has informed people to get back to work. So it's a lot of stuff that went down. But other than that, man, what's the word, Russ? How your week starting off, man? How was your weekend other than the football game?
Oh, man, I can't complain. It was just a little busy working. Especially Monday. It's been busy today. Working my tail off.
Yeah, especially Monday with it being Veterans Day tomorrow. Shout out to all the veterans, veterans that gave their life for fighting for this country, veterans that served in the police force, fighting for the neighborhood. A lot of people who, put their life on the line and volunteer to protect others, you know what I'm saying? So y'all enjoy the day. I know it's kind of crazy that it's on a Tuesday. A lot of people went to work today. They're going to be off tomorrow, sort of mess up your week. But it's an extra day off, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Other than that, though, man, something that we spoke about earlier that I brought to your attention, Russ, something specifically I want to talk about that a lot of people may experience, especially in a place here like in California. What's going on, Vibes of a Melanin Queen?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know, Russ. Maybe some people have ever said said to themselves or spoke out loud, or somebody said, damn, man, I wonder why if I'm using my debit card, they're charging me 50 cents, 75 cents. I know I can't speak for other states, but here in California, LA County, specifically at some, not all, some mom and pop stores, when you use your debit card, they might tell you we charge 50 cents or 75 cents for this, for you to use your debit card, where you got to put your PIN number in. They're not supposed to be doing that. Did y'all know that?
No, not really.
Stairwell.
No.
The stairs. Pounded on the door.
Yeah, well, a lot of people didn't know that. Well, see, they're supposed to charge you a fee if you use a credit card, not a debit card. Anytime you use a debit card, you put your PIN number in, they're not supposed to charge you a fee. You can report them to the Visa board. So a lot of the small stores in California, they overcharging you without knowing or realizing it. But by law, they could charge a small fee for credit card purchases, but not debit. So when you enter your PIN number, if you're paying with debit and, getting hit with an extra fee, that's illegal. You're basically being robbed in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? So if you notice, or if you even say that, to charge 50 to 75 cents, if it's added when you use your PIN, that's like you being charged illegally. Even if they don't say nothing, your stuff is $5, then they, $5.75, they charging you, that's illegal. So they basically robbing you. So why wouldn't you make a fuss about that? What you think about that?
Why wouldn't I make a fuss about it? I mean, it's wrong, but hell, there's a lot of wrong shit going on around in this world right now. But I mean, should we give them the death penalty?
I mean, well, see, some people might say that, what's the reason for that? And so that's why I say numbers never lie. I came up with some numbers. Now, just say
the government robs you every day.
I mean, yeah, it's some stuff that you can't do anything about, and there's some stuff that you can. So if it's something that you can do about, something you can do about it, why not? If somebody keeps breaking in your garage, you're going to put up some kind of security system, right?
I mean, if you think about it, you basically getting robbed in plain sight, though, because it's like, if what I do know is that if it's credit, they're going to charge you a minimum 25 with a maximum of 75. Hold on, baby, 1 second. And that's with a credit card. Now, when you're putting in your PIN, you shouldn't be charged.
Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't be charged. We got a comment said, who would you report that to? Well, you got 3 people you can report that to. Now, for the people here in California, if you feel like that you've been taken advantage of, I'm gonna give you where you can report that to. But before that, I'm gonna give you the numbers. Just, for what Russ said, basically what you're gonna do, send them to jail or whatever. I mean, some people may say, yeah, it's not a major enough crime. Now, I'm gonna give you some numbers from a minimal breakdown. So if you go to your neighborhood store, that store by the corner or wherever close to your house on the way from work, that you're gonna stop at least 5 to 10 times a week. If you're paying attention to it or not. Most of the time, you're gonna use your debit card because everybody ain't carrying cash. So just to say, for instance, if you get charged 75 cents twice a day at that store that you normally go to using your debit card for a year, just twice a day, you might go more, but we just gonna say 2 times a day, just twice a day for a year. At the end of the year, and they charge you 75 cents extra on a debit card that you shouldn't be paying. That's $547.50 extra that they've made off money that you shouldn't be paying. And they know they shouldn't be charging you. Now, that's just from you as one person. Now, just imagine if 50 people in the neighborhood do that in the same situation in a year, that's $27,000 that store owner's collected of money that he's not supposed to be charging people from. So see how the numbers break it down, why it's important?
Yeah, sound like I need a store.
Modern day robbery.
and you know what?
Sounds like I need a store.
Yeah. And most of the people who have, had that ideology of owning a store, you know what's going on with them now?
No more money for you.
No more money for them. Now, to answer that question, where can you report it to in California? There's 3 places you can report it to in California. The California Attorney General's office, California Department of Consumer Affairs, and the Card Network Complaint, Visa or MasterCard. So these are 3 places you can report it to. And what are you going to file under? What do people say? What is that known under? Well, you can claim unlawful business practices under California Unfair Competition Law, Businesses and Profession Code SS 17200, or consumer fraud or overcharge. You know what I'm saying? They misrepresented or added illegal fees. Now, the easiest and fastest way is to report the business and trigger an investigation to either one of those three boards that I told you: California Attorney General's Office, California Department of Consumer Affairs, or Card Network Complaint, Visa or MasterCard. These are three bureaus that you can report it to. They'll file an investigation. I don't know what the investigation consists of, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to check out the store. So, even if you say I have my debit card, you may go to the store and you tell them, they ask you how you paying, cash or card. You say I'm gonna use my debit card. If the store cashier says swipe, you be waiting for the thing to pop up where you can enter your PIN, and they don't say enter your PIN. It might just say approve. They use it as a credit card, and as a credit card, that they're being deceptive because basically they charging you a fee that it costs to use the credit card. When you have a debit card, when you say I want to use it as debit, that's giving them authority to take the money directly from your account when you put your PIN number in, so they can't charge you for that. So it's little stuff like that go under the radar. People don't pay attention to that. But I mean, in times where people may need to, hold on to money, everything counts. So like I say, 500, let's round it off, $550 a year for one person, 50 people, that's 27,000 a year. That's a lot of 27,000 a year a store owner is getting off money that he or she shouldn't be charging people. So you got to pay
And
attention
the
to stuff
crazy
like that.
part about it is the ones that know that they not supposed to be doing it and do it still. And even to their loyal customers.
They do that. And I tell people, like, when you go to that store, now here in LA, most of the stores in LA are ran by Hispanics or Asian, mainly Korean, Chinese in the South LA neighborhood. And some of them pay attention to how they treat people. You know what I'm saying? They treat people differently. Everybody who comes in there spends the same money, but they treat people differently. Like stores that my wife and I go to, they treat us differently. They know, I mean, you hate to say it, they know who's junkies, crackheads, and drunks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but they know they still not supposed to be adding these charges onto this, no matter who you are. So they still doing it. So in the end of the day, these people don't give a shit who you are. They gonna rip you off if they can, and it's right in plain sight. This is this is something a lot of people don't even pay attention to, and and that leads me into some stuff that may have happened around in the South LA neighborhood. But like I say, one more issue of that. Some people, like you say, Russ, what are you gonna do? Sue? Now, can you sue? I think I asked this question earlier, but I had to look it up on California. Yes, you can sue. You can take the business to a small claims court. If you've been repeatedly charged these illegal debit fees. Specifically like your mom and pop stores. You don't have this issue at no major store chains. That you use your debit card there. It's legit. They don't charge you a fee. They may charge you a fee for if you want to get cash back, which is like 50 cents or 75 cents, which is not bad. You go take $200 out of mom and pop ATM, they might charge you $3 to $5 just to take out 20.
Yep.
But this is a lot of stuff you got to watch out for. That's just like in South LA, you had a lot of stores closed down. One in our local neighborhood in 2010, store named U Market, guy named Sabino Sedano. This guy, he was charged with EBT fraud. He had so many, he had a whole bunch of counts of hits on him, but Sabino Reynoso Sedano was his name. He was a Dominican Republic native. He became a millionaire of EBT fraud in the Harvard Park area in 2010. He allegedly used welfare recipients' cards to purchase things at other markets and sell them at marked up prices in his store. What do y'all think about people who use EBT to, make a profit off of it?
I mean, of course, it's terrible and they shouldn't do it, but right, what you expect? People, they can find a way to do something crooked. Most of the time, they will. So it's not surprising.
You have to learn that people are going to be people.
Yes, I mean basically yes, they are going to be people. If it's a way for them to get over and scheme and scam, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a case going on right now. I can't remember the young lady's name. Young black lady that's on trial right now. I think facing some real time because she used her electronic benefits transaction funds to purchase stuff to sell. I think like some pastries or cookies or something I think y'all heard about that, but they said you can't do that. So she
I
looking at
mean,
some years.
I think that's kind of fucked up, really.
Did you heard about that story though? Or you seen
Oh,
that?
no, I haven't seen it, but I just think that's kind of screwed, though. That shit, she's doing something legal. She's using her EBT benefits to make cookies and sell and make a profit. I'm just like, what, you just want her to be stuck? Don't want her to try? Seems like she's putting forth some effort to advance herself and actually make an honest living. And why would you want to prosecute her for that?
Yeah, when you look at it like that, I mean, but I guess
Yeah.
the legality of it,
I mean, it's just set up to basically keep you in one place. Then, you can use the benefits to go to the store and use them, use and buy the food that you need to eat. But after that runs out, then what are you going to do? Hell, to me, she's actually being a little bit more forward thinking. Hell, she's like, I'm going to put this money to work for me. And eventually, maybe I can even get off of this EBT and I don't need it. She could even possibly start her own thriving business.
yeah. I mean, thinking of it from an entrepreneur standpoint, but when you look at it from a government standpoint, they looking at it like you can't, put down that you need assistance, and then you take the assistance we get and try to make capital off something that you're not supposed to be doing. That's basically like the same thing for
That's
the
the
people
crazy part about it, because if they're giving you the stamps to buy food and items of necessity, and then this is an item of necessity that so happens to make you money in a process, which means you can get off of their program faster. It seems to me that they want you to stay on more than they want you to get off.
Exactly. That is my point. They want you on it. That's clear.
Yeah.
It shows that they want you to stay on it. As long as you use or exhaust them every month to go get your food and necessities for that month, and you're depending on it on the next month to come for the next, disbursement, they're fine with that. But God forbid you take any action to actually do something to advance yourself. Oh no, we can't have that.
Well, now in comparison to what I was saying about this, the man at the store, U Market, the guy, he didn't get any jail time. Now, mind you, this guy, Sabino Sedano, he's a Dominican national. He was here legally on a green card, and owned two stores, U Market and Epps Market, which is now Oops, who's owned by his silent partner now, Karan Ray Singh. His name wasn't mentioned in the paperwork. He had no ties to any fraudulent doings of that. So like the store had no affiliation with that. A lot of people say it's kind of crazy. How the hell you gonna be involved with somebody and know nothing? But hey, he wasn't charged. So hey, that's what they say in court. But if this young lady is facing years in jail behind this, and you have somebody like this who became a millionaire, only thing he got was, if I'm not mistaken, a couple years probation, 2-3 years probation. He had to pay back almost $150,000 in restitution plus 250 hours in community service. He didn't, and all that was to escape. He ought to escape deportation. He had to do all this just to stay here. Now, you got a lady who's American citizen. All she did was buy this to make cookies, and now I'm saying she might be facing, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm. But did you hear the key there? He paid $250,000 restitution.
$150,000.
Well, that's still better than what she's gonna pay. 100. That's a sizable amount of money there.
Yeah. Now, that's true. You know what I'm saying? That's true, but still, it's not right. What was you about to say, Vibe?
I just feel like it's about the money. Like, You got to know how this country runs, and it runs off the money. He's paying. You said what, 150,000 versus however much she's probably going to pay, or probably have to pay back, because most likely they're going to want her to do more of the jail time than pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's not
Got
really
to
gonna have
make an
to do it.
example out of her. You know.
Yep. He's in a different tax bracket. We can get money out of him, so we can kind of avoid the jail time, and this you take the financial consequences.
And I mean, you have to look at it like this too. He's also he's not legal. He had a visa, a green card, which last I heard of him, it expired. So it's just like it's different. I feel like it's different rules for citizens versus people that are non-citizens.
And it is. You know what? But real quick, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who needs some legal advice, y'all may want to check out my boy here.
You're in traffic, you're at a red light, you get an unexpected ass kicking, road rage at its best. You need legal advice and action. Call us now, Stringfellow Taylor and Associates, 888-777-LEGAL.
Yeah, you know, but a lot of people, I mean, hey, a lot of people need to just know what they need to know and stop going out here blind in every aspect. You can avoid a lot of shit, period.
I mean, it's about the money. I don't think so much the status of their, citizenship. But if you have money in this criminal justice system in America, you can get a lot further than you can without it.
I mean, yeah, I just said that money makes this world go round.
Yes. I mean, look at Brett Favre. He was involved in that Medicare fraud shit in Mississippi.
Yeah, he didn't. That was for like 4 or 5 million or something allegedly.
Yeah, this is a fucking millionaire.
That was the EBT fraud.
He's taking fucking, he's taking Medicare. He's a millionaire. But what have we heard about that?
Yeah, well, you know what? And to piggyback off what you're saying, also a part of this circle in that area, there was a store, some markets on the 54th and Western area in South LA. A lot of people in LA back in the day knew about these stores. Especially the Vermont, Normandy, and Western corridors, they call them. The store on 54th and Western, they were shut down back in the days by various working organizations, one of them being USDA. You know, they were allowing people to swipe for $100 worth of items, give the recipients $50 to $70 in cash and pocket the rest. You know, so this stuff, this type of stuff happens in the hood. It happens everywhere, but it happens highly in the hood. And these stores that were doing that, they were on. This is on file. They said they were owned by immigrant families. You know, here, some of them had their SNAP benefits access taken away from 5 to 10 years, some permanently. But which is crazy to me is like, first and foremost, is like, me personally, just my opinion, if you're fighting to come to this country to be here, you get the access to be here. Now you get the money to open a store. Then you pull some illegal shit like that. Like, I mean, this shit is just crazy to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that America allows. You got hungry, starving American people, citizens. You got veterans on the street right now. It's crazy that Veterans Day is tomorrow. We got over 10,000 veterans homeless on Skid Row right now who gonna serve Veterans Day on the fucking street. And the only thing they gonna get is a meal from probably the Mission right there in LA downtown just for the day. So when I say stuff like people need to speak up like about charges like that, most of these people who own stores, these people come here for a better life, and part of their better life is little shit like that scamming you. Yeah, it's nothing to you. Oh, what's 50 cents, 75 cents? 50 people do that a year at 75 cents twice a day. That's $27,000 a year that somebody's made off your hard-earned money, while you and I and other people try to figure out how the hell you're gonna pay your fucking light bill. It ain't about race, it's about numbers. You know, take race out the equation. It's about numbers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be struggling and the pennies that I should be having people are ripping me off. So a part of that is education. This is why people like us is here to let people know about stuff like that, because a lot of people don't know that. I know pretty much a lot of people have always said, damn man, why am I getting charged for using my debit card? They taking the money out of my account. You're right. The store is not supposed to be charging you. When you tell them that I'm going to use my debit card, they shouldn't be saying we charge for that. Yeah, you can say I charge for that, but hey, don't charge me for that. And if they do, get your receipt. And that's another thing people don't do. When they use their debit cards or any card, you use your Cash App card, whatever, you don't get a receipt. What do them store owners do, or whoever the cashier do? When you don't collect your receipt, pay attention to them. They take your receipt and they put it on some little note thing right there. What they stick like the little food order receipt things on. They keep note of the receipts. What'd you say? Well, whatever you call it, they you know what I'm saying? That's something you got to do. Take your receipts. A lot of people don't take your receipts. That's one thing you got to do. I mean, just do the math, man. If it don't make sense to you in word, layman's terms, use the numbers. And if the numbers ain't adding up, like I say, almost $550 at the end of the year. You could have $550 around Christmas time. That's some gifts right there. So it adds up. The numbers add up. Now that's just twice a year. Some people go to the store 4-5 times a day using their debit card, getting charged 75 cents, 50 cents every time. So just take into consideration. And with that being said, too, with all the fraudulent stuff going on with some of these store owners and the shit that they pulling, be careful using your debit card. Because if they don't have a problem stealing from you, you think they don't have a problem stealing your information? Look at what's going on the stores now.
Use cash. You avoid all that.
Yeah, you're right. You avoid all that. Use cash. But using cash now, when Snap's up in lingo, you know, y'all in Texas, y'all can protect yourself legally with CCWs. They only approved 2 CCWs in California, LA County, if I'm not mistaken. As of news of last month, they had only approved 2 CCWs out of 80,000 applications. So the fact of you being able to protect yourself in California holding cash is very slim.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
and that's why so many people out here walk around with cars, because people scared to carry cash. And a lot of these places know that, and they use that to their advantage.
I mean, it's real out here. My brother was telling me the other day, his friend's mom, somebody snatched her chain just walking on the street. You know what I mean? And it ain't like it was no, you know, from what I hear, no glamorous $1 million chain, but people are thirsty. This was broad daylight.
See, y'all need to loosen up them gun laws out there in California.
I'm telling you.
Problem. That's the damn problem. Them gun laws are too strict.
Well, I've said that already,
money,
man.
That's what California runs on. California runs on money. So if you got money, you can get your gun license faster than you could without a certain tax bracket.
Okay, that's how it works.
Well, it also depends on what county you're in. Like I say, LA County, they always have a longer process of processing things like that, because most of the real crimes in Southern California takes place in LA County or like the San Diego County, or you go up north like Alameda County, like Oakland area, Frisco in there. But you know what I'm saying? These are the counties where the processing, I'm almost certain to say, goes slower than other counties. Like if you would say like maybe in a Santa Barbara County, you know, like that area up there, you know, those type of places where they allow people to protect themselves more because those homes are worth $4 to $5 million.
So what is it, like a county law, or the gun laws, or is it state law?
Well, it's not even a county law. From my understanding, from shout out to Craig Robinson, he's the owner of American Training Academy in Inglewood. Y'all need some training, go there, right there on the corner of Manchester and Crenshaw. But you know, from my understanding, it's not mainly a LA County thing, it's a city limit from So like people who live in the city of LA, the inner city limits, if you were to file to get you a CCW, I'm talking about you got a clean record, everything, nothing, no BS. You can get one. You're eligible to get one. But the process takes longer coming from the LA city limits because if I'm not mistaken, the crime and everything that goes along in LA. I know people who stay in the outskirts cities, that's like, people down there in Houston, if they apply, it may take longer for somebody staying in like Mo City. You know what I'm saying?
CCW here anymore.
No, but I'm just saying, for example, that's like LA would be Houston and Mo City would be like Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? People in Inglewood can get it faster because the crime rate is lower in the city of Inglewood than it is in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I mean, our CCW program went through the state. It wasn't really like that, You took the classes and you submitted the paperwork to the state, and you got your paperwork, and whatever the little allotted amount of time was. But it really wasn't no long process, and I don't really think the individual municipalities had anything to do with how the expedience of it.
We ours go through the sheriff's office. Yeah, Los Angeles has a LAPD force with over 9,500 officers, but the CCW process goes through the LA County sheriffs, which is in charge of the police of the county. So it goes through them, and LA County sheriff is the second largest department behind New York PD. So they cover a lot of stuff. Like I said, that's why I think the DOJ filed a lawsuit against the LA County for slow processing of CCW applications, because that what was said a few months ago that only 2 have been processed out of 80,000 applications.
Sitting on their hands. That's what they were doing.
That's all. So, I tell a lot of people in California, especially LA County, if you don't have no record and none of that, and you got a clean background, it's nothing wrong with you owning a firearm legally to protect your family, your house, your property. That is your amendment right, So don't let them take that away from you. A lot of y'all sit around with clean records. There's somebody sitting around right now watching TV or listening to the phone or whatever that ain't never did a crime in their life. Hey, you own property, go fill out the application, pay the little extra fee. Maybe that's a hobby you can get into. You meet you some friends, y'all go down to the gun range or go hunting, do stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. Hell, I'm pretty sure everybody has thought about either owning one or going to a gun range and shooting one. I'm almost certain to say that. You've had NBA players bring some to the locker room. So they pop up everywhere.
With guns?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I guess we take it for granted here. Shit, guns are everywhere.
Well, see, and I'm pretty sure, you being an attorney, y'all rates of people, like I say, getting ran up on, getting their chains snatched, that ain't happening.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of that, no.
Well, that's why I tell people, in different places, there's different laws, policies, and procedures in place. It's like some of the stuff that we take for granted out here, y'all don't have out there, and Houston and Texas in general. And then stuff y'all have out there, we don't have out here. Y'all take it for granted, but it's like it's hard out here to get a firearm to protect your family.
Mm.
It is.
You can go to Walmart and buy a gun.
Shit, not even Walmart. You can go to Watkins probably and get a special around Christmas. They selling a little 20.
Man, I seen that when I came out there. Like, what? They got this sitting out like this?
Yeah, you go to Walmart and Hell Academy and go get a gun, like, same day, really. Or you go to one of the gun shows and you will walk out there with a gun.
But then you also got to think about it. That's a Republican state versus this Democratic state.
It's very pro-gun, right? It's Second Amendment. Second Amendment is very strong here.
Well, we used to be that way in California. A lot of people will say, and they blame, not blame isn't in a bad thing, but a lot of people say the government didn't allow Californians to have that right like that in the 70s after the Black Panther Party, was heavily in California, showing up to state capitol buildings with rifles and shit like that. It was a legal thing. They had the legal right to carry back in them days. So what's the way to take away power? You know what I'm saying? Make it to where you can't possess these firearms legally once people have, things on their records. So a lot of
You
people.
can't defend your people or your property. That's basically all they did was take away that right for even not only just the Black Panther Party, there's people in general that was around at that time when they were trying to come together and they were trying to unite.
Yeah, they
Yep.
don't want to see a bunch of people of color walking around with rifles and firearms. That made them feel quite unsafe. So
No, they didn't.
The law. They had to change the law to
No,
where
they didn't.
simple possession of the firearm was a crime. Therefore,
You had blacks, you had browns, you had even Native Americans that were teaming up. The Black Panther brought a whole nother community called the Black Panther Rainbow Pride. This was before, the alphabet crew took over the rainbow symbol. But that's what the rainbow symbol used to represent back then, all the different color of people that was involved in that movement at that time.
The Rainbow Coalition. Jesse Jackson. I remember that back in the day.
Jesse Jack, don't get me started with him. But I'm telling you, man, this is just some stuff. I mean, awareness, awareness of, just awareness, period. No matter what it is, whatever you did, sports, life, politics, whatever, just awareness, stay ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? Just be aware and know your rights, know what you can do, what's your amendments, especially when it pertains to this, the weapons. A lot of people think weapons are bad. I mean, hell, tell you the truth, if it wasn't for certain weapons, a lot of people wouldn't be here. A lot of battles wouldn't be won. A lot of people wouldn't eat, But again, that I go to say this too. Also, this is why I say California, New York, some other major cities, the mind frames of people like them may be different because, like I say, the way we got to protect ourselves, and people like in London, because they gun laws are stricter in London. That's why them cats walk around with knives over there. You better not get caught with a handgun in London. But just say that to say this:
sleep with their blades.
They sleep with blades over there, man. I heard this Wicco it's mad over there, yo. That's how they say,
It's
But
wicked, yo.
yeah, just say that like a lot of people say, "Oh, California niggas got cocky mentalities." No, I ain't got no cocky mentalities. It's just a simple fact that motherfuckers got to fight out here. If you really go on YouTube right now, look at downtown, look at the hoods. There's always some shit going on.
Like you just be in constant survival mode, basically, because you got to keep your head on the swivel. You don't know what can happen, when it can happen, where it can happen. It's just, and there's no place you can say that it won't happen in, because there's been a lot of places, especially as of recently, that got shot up or robbed or just events that you wouldn't expect to happen in these places happening. It's because people are desperate right now. So people are doing the most.
Well, it's not too much fighting out here. Everything is pretty much gunplay.
Yeah. I mean,
everything escalates into gunplay, road rage, shit, schoolyard disagreements. Everything turns into gunplay here.
I mean, but that's just what a lot of people, and I want to say not people, but a lot of the media pinpoint and spotlight a lot. If you look at a big picture that's going on nationwide here in America, we all see the truck driving industry. We see what's going on down south, Oklahoma, places like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that's been going on, but this is stuff like protection, what we talk about. They don't want to see, I'm going to say it, they don't want to see black people with weapons. And not every black person is a criminal. And I'll say this again, not every black person or every person that gangbang is a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Some people just get caught up in bad situations. But when it come to California, I've said this before to you, Russ, about what the weapons, look at First 48. When you see most of those cases on there, it take place in like Memphis, Dallas, down south somewhere. You see some people unalive people and doing this and that, and you see them only get charged like 12 years manslaughter. Yeah, because weapons down there are not illegal. See, in California, you don't get charged for the homicide only. You also get charged for having a weapon because you're not supposed to have it. So you get a gun charge, a homicide charge, or attempted homicide charge, whatever the charge may be. And you better not
And
have
that
no prior
weapon can
record.
carry 5 to 8 years. Too.
Hey, or depends on the person record. If you got a shitty record in California, just like on that movie Training Day, where Denzel told Snoop, "Look, with your record, man, shit, you can get 10 years per bullet. You federally fucked." It's some people in that situation that got bad records. If they get caught with a gun with 5 bullets in there, they might get 10 years per bullet.
Yeah.
So California is a state that don't play when it comes to weapons like New York. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey man, I recommend anybody talk it out, not even fight. Sometimes you ain't even gotta throw blows, man. A conversation can avoid a lot of stuff. And a lot of times the shit that people are fighting over is something that was stirred up by somebody else. That ain't even one of y'all, a third party just stirring up some shit, some he say, she say. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people always say, "Oh man, I got a credible source." Well, that means you let me know. That let me know you fuck with snitches. Then, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, to me, the gun laws don't really deter possession of the gun from criminals. What it does is makes it more difficult for law-abiding citizens to actually obtain.
For the law-abiding citizen,
because shit, the criminal don't give a damn if the gun is illegal or not.
He gonna get it regardless.
Regardless, exactly. So the people who are being hurt by the law, although, is the law-abiding citizen, the one who has to go through the proper channels to get the gun.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's just kind of ass backwards,
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They won't even let the law-abiding citizen protect him or herself. You know what I'm saying? They say follow the law. Call 911. Okay, I'm reporting a robbery in progress. What's going on? Well, I hear him coming in. I'm upstairs or something. They're downstairs. You call back 8 minutes later. They're still in. Where are you guys at? It's like, wait a minute. You want me to?
Man, my donut's not hot yet. Man, shit.
Budget cut.
My donuts ain't came out yet. Give me 5 more minutes.
Real talk. Is like you want me to? You put my faith in. Don't get me wrong, man. I know they overwork. I've said this before. It's only 9,500 police officers in LAPD that serves from LA, San Fernando Valley, and maybe Pacoima area. And you got a city with over 4 million people who are documented. Let's say undocumented, maybe 7 to 8. And you got 9,500 officers. They're not going to get to every call in a timely manner. I understand that. But my thing is too, that's something they need to cut out too, man. Like if you got all this amount of people in California or LA County, and half of them shouldn't be here, you know what I'm saying? They got to start looking at, damn, the grid is getting overloaded, and you accepting calls from people who ain't supposed to be here. You got to look at everything in entirety. When it comes to numbers, everything, when you're spending, what's being taken from you, people don't pay attention to that. How many people really pay attention to their check stubs? When the last time you paid attention to your check stub and realized, especially in California, because I said this before to you and Russ, in Texas and California, if you look at the check stubs out here, you be like, man, what the fuck are they taking that out? What the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised.
That's irritating. Be like, you make this much, and then by the time they take out everything they want to take out, you bring it home less than what you made. And what's so crazy? Well, first and foremost, thank the people for listening. Like I say, the hustle
they don't talk about. That was the main topic. Just basically saying, just going over, for those who just joined in, for a lot of the stores that you go to, if you use your debit card, you put your PIN in, they charge you a fee. The store owner is not supposed to do that, especially here in California. So, you can report them to the Visa board for them doing that. So that's just some of the stuff we was going on. What was going on we were talking about. Pay attention to some of the stores. It's good to read up on some of the merchant stores that you go to, especially if they have fraudulent cases in the past, because not every store has their benefits taken away. Some of them have them revoked from 5 to 10 years or less, and they start over again. So it's always good to know if you go into a store that has had some type of charge like that before, because you may want to think twice before swiping your cards. And that goes with people with EBT cards too, because there's people out here stealing the money off y'all cards also. So you got to think about all that in the stores. So that's just what we,
Man, that ain't the only fraud you got to worry about. You got to worry about people, putting them fake credit card scanners on a little keypad, stealing your
gas
PIN.
station. Those two allegedly online. A lot of people, you could go on TikTok, have been accusing 7-Elevens of that. We don't know if it's true or not, but like you said, you go on TikTok, some people have accused a certain one in a certain area. It was a crazy video. And it's crazy. It's tracked. I mean, all that stuff, that magnetic strip on that card. So it's like once it's swiped, even the criminals, that can be tracked, because I mean, damn, these high-tech cars nowadays, everything's timing, numbers and timing. You know what I'm saying? This is why they tell people to pay attention to stuff like that. And again, I'll go back to that. If you're letting something so small as 75 cents slip by to you, what you think else isn't slipping by?
You got to pay attention to them bank statements too. It's a good thing to pay attention to.
Real talk. Hey, Russ, from a legal standpoint, like anybody who may be experiencing something like that, say for instance, somebody who just, let it slip by, and the comfortability of people, the comfortability that some people have with certain stores and the people who work there, where they feel like they won't get screwed over. Hey, don't let your guards down. Trust me. Everybody is not there to fuck you over, but when it comes to business stores, they're trying to look to gain the most for the less. So pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah. You have to be aware of what's going on. Like, see the way you're spending your money.
And that's true.
Account it. Yeah. You gotta be
well, I mean, the minimal stuff. People don't even hold the people accountable no more. How many people go to stores right now, or even go to a fucking Little Caesar right now? You probably the cheapest pizza around. Shout out to Little Caesar, especially what the owner was doing for Rosa Parks silently for years. If you don't know that story, just Google owner of Little Caesars and Rosa Parks, and you'll be amazed by that story. But a lot of the people who work in places like that, they don't even smile at you when you hand them your money. They don't even count you your change back. They hand you your money back in a receipt and say thank you and walk away from the cash register. It's up to you as the customer. Hey, y'all better start demanding some respect. Hey, I'm keeping you employed by spending my money here. You ain't finna treat me like shit. It's up to you. Stop spending your money where you're not respected. You know what I mean? And also too, man, stop spending your money every other place and you ain't got it. Shit, don't be spending your last 100 in church and you only got 100 to last you the next week.
Yeah, please don't spend it there.
Like shit. Like hell, think about that. Like, brother, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I could use a blessing myself, but shit, hell, I gotta think smart too.
That's that pastor that told the lady to take her $1,000 back. He was saying,
oh yeah, $1,200.
He told her, yeah, I said 2,000. He said, I said bring 2,000.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with him? That's why I don't have no respect for them people
Or
in
even
that
that
shit.
other one that was locking the church doors and
Yeah,
telling people that they had to give a certain amount
you can't
before they could
leave.
leave.
Look, man, I tell you like this, man. When it come down, like money is the root of all evil. Um, a lot of people, everybody, I don't give a shit who it is, man, woman, black, white, Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has made a decision over money, whether it was, you got some people in jail that didn't, thought way left off for money, took away somebody's unallowed, shit like that. No matter what it is, you got to watch out what you do for money. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, money will bring along some shit that you want temporarily, but it could leave a long time lasting effect that you may not have wanted. So you know what I'm saying? So I mean that look at the political world now. Look at this shutdown stuff. This was over money. People want money here, allocated here, there. Corruption and money. It could be what? Politics money, corruption and money. It could be food and money. I'm
Man,
pretty sure
everything's
money's
about
gonna be
money.
involved.
Everything's about money. This is America. Everything boils down to money.
The money, shit. If you could be the ugliest man in the world, but for the right amount of money, it's some girl on Fig or Bissonnet who gonna make you feel like you the finest man in the world for at least 30 minutes.
Shit, you can go to Beverly Hills and find her if you got enough money. You ain't gotta go on Fig, really.
Oh shit! Well, like I said, temporary. You know what I'm saying? You said I'm finna go out there and spend a meal.
Shit. Hey, you get what you pay for.
I, I,
But
I remember I remember my dad telling my uncle this one time, my uncle, as some people get older, they don't care. It's like, I mean, and I've always found that kind of strange. You hear the 60, 70-year-old man, they just talk freely. Yeah, man, I'm going to get, go dress up and go down here, see if I can meet one. Where you going to a club? No, down such and such, see if I can get one. Like, man, y'all really just go out here buying it. Hey, man, I'm living life. I'm like, all right. But my
I'm trying
pops
to see
told
why you got to go get dressed up.
me.
That's the part I don't understand. What the hell I got to go get dressed up for?
That's the old men. They go out there because they
Look,
feel
I
it's more.
gotta pay you and impress you. What the
Hey,
fuck?
it's more of a date to them. You know what I'm saying? But I know my pops had told my uncle, he was messing with this one lady, and he said, "Man, I don't get you, man. You paying for some shit." He said, "Yeah, but I love it." He said, "Yeah, you ain't paying for love. You need to be paying for some shit you like, man. I'm gonna be paying for some shit that at least look decent." I said, "Yeah, man. You got a point there. Shit, you can't be going out there just paying for
Yeah, if you
trash,
go
man."
buy it, yeah. What the fuck you finna go buy some shit? Garbage.
What he say? I'm not finna go pay for a disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. But yeah, man. Olympics is coming around, especially here in LA. A lot of people who want to be involved in Olympics. You can go on. I think LA Olympic Volunteer 28 or something like that, or Google it. Right now, the list is open. You can register to be a volunteer in the events. It's a lifetime experience. If I'm not mistaken, I got to look further into that. Some employers in California may allow you to be a part of that. So I'm not sure. You got to check with your employer. But yeah, it's something that I encourage people to enroll in here in LA. You got a lot of venues that they need people for. Give you a chance to be front and center. You know what I'm saying? Something that you can talk about for years because hell, who knows when the Olympics will be back in LA? Hell, we haven't had it here since I think 84, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. What was Olympics in LA in 84 or?
Yeah, I think that was 84. Was 84? Yeah, I think it was 84.
So the Olympics hasn't been here. It's not coming back till 2028. So it hasn't been here in damn near 45 years in LA. So who knows when it'll be back around. So some of us who may be around to see it when it comes around, we may not be around to see it come back again in 45 to 50 years. So if you got a chance to volunteer, get you a souvenir, something to hang up for your kids, grandkids to pass down, say that, oh, my great grandpa was there or great grandma was there, you know what I'm saying? You might meet some Texan players there who are going to be joining some LA Olympics. Russ, you want to volunteer, you might, You might come down here and land in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? The
Yeah, I
Rush
need
show.
to do that.
You know.
Um,
Yeah, no, but real talk, man. Some other shit before we get up out of here, man. We've been on about 55 minutes. Got a few more minutes before we get out of here, man. Nancy Pelosi says she won't seek re-election along with other Democratic representatives like Bonnie Coleman. She's 80 years old. She's been serving Congress since 2015. She beat a Republican challenger 61% to 36% in 2024. But she says she won't seek re-election. So you got a lot of Democratic representatives who say they're not going to seek re-election. Why do y'all think that is? Do y'all think, maybe it's because of the legislation we have now?
what you say?
No, just saying a lot of the Democratic longtime representatives like Nancy Pelosi, Bonnie Coleman, she's 80 years old. She's been serving Congress since 2015.
Yeah. I mean, shit, you 80 years old, it is time to might probably go sit down for a little bit, you know?
I mean, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But you remember Republican Representative Mitch McConnell said I guess politicians would rather die in office than give up their position. And hell, you look at some of them, it's like a lot of them, be on their very, very, very last leg before they let it go.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I say, you need to know when to bow out. Like, shit, if you're in your 80s, I think it's time for you to get out of politics.
Yeah.
Because you got old and stagnant and set in your ways. You really can't see, anything new. So, I mean, at a certain point, it's time to step aside. Shit.
Yeah, it is. And, it is, especially with the stuff that went on, I mean, there was a list of somebody put a list out on, I can't remember what news station was, but they, Nancy Pelosi and her husband was a part of that list, that brutal attack he suffered. And the attacker was a part of the list. They showed a list of people who committed these heinous crimes in America over the last, I want to say 2, 3, 4 years. And unfortunately, most of the people who committed these crimes, the skin wasn't melanated.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know who the number one terrorist in America is. That's no secret. You can Google that and find that out. But like I say, man, yeah, I agree with you on that. 80 years old, serving Pelosi, not too far behind. I wonder if Maxine Waters gonna run for
she
re-election.
is over 80. Isn't Pelosi over 80? Isn't she like 82 or something like that?
She might be.
I think she's over 80. So I'm like, shit. Nancy, you did your job. Now it's time to pass the torch on to somebody else.
It is, man. There was a young guy in LA running back in the day against Maxine Waters, young brother Republican guy. I can't remember his full name. I think his name was Joe something. But yeah, he was a military veteran, and it was a little not shocking, but you never saw nobody run against Maxine Waters. And because she did a lot for the black community here, especially got a lot of people started with her Maxine Waters school, got them some trades, journeyman trades, some people who joined pole climbing class and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people, they weren't, as far as of now, they weren't too knowledgeable of politics as they are now. Some people know the difference between a Democrat and Republican now. They know it's just that, okay, blacks just don't vote. Well, I'm a Democrat because I'm black. Nah, you got to really read up into it. Like you say, they all politicians, but you just got to really, read into it. Don't just vote for somebody because somebody else is. So now a lot of people, I'm speaking mainly California state of mind. A lot of people in California still to this day and probably still in the future will vote Democrat. And hey, you vote who you want to. That's your opinion. That's your right. Everybody should vote. If that's your right, vote. A lot of people died and fought for you to vote. But my thing is, don't just vote for free shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't just vote because, okay, this is a handout I'm gonna get, and this is something I could use, and I ain't got to do this where I could chill and do this. Come on, man. Smoking a blunt and drinking only gonna last you 30 minutes to an hour and a half off of relaxation, if that. You know what I'm saying? Get up, get that money, get off that bullshit, and start living comfortably. You can live comfortable today if you get off your ass. But hey
Uh,
man,
um,
yeah.
it's really quick. Something I had just
No, go
seen
ahead, go ahead. Take your time.
was the Senate. They're supposed to be coming to a end on the government shutdown. They just like 2 hours ago sent a funding bill to the House, where the GOP leaders are expected to pass it as soon as Wednesday, which will help the longest ever U.S. shutdown come to an end. They're hoping Donald Trump will sign it to help restore like services, federal food aids, pay hundreds of federal workers that haven't been paid. So this will also help airlines, especially since the government shutdown. Airlines have been terrible. A lot of people been stuck in places they decided to go before the shutdown.
Yep.
So I just seen that pop up. So just FYI.
Yeah, you're right about that. Also, too, here in the LAPD has announced that they are ending the security detail for Kamala Harris because the LAPD union and some critics, they say that it's not fair that a multimillionaire politician has security for free from LAPD that are paid by taxpayers.
I mean, she's
I
not legally
agree with that.
entitled
She
to it.
got money. Why she can't
Right.
pay for
She's not
it?
entitled to it. Right. She's not the.
She's not the vice president anymore. So it's like,
Well, even the vice president, if I'm not mistaken, they only get to keep their security detail for I think a year after they're out of office. But I think, oh no, I don't know if it's a year or like 6 months, 8 months, something like that. But I think it had expired, or it didn't expire. Biden had prolonged it to where she still had it, but under the new administration, they're like, hell no.
what does she need protection for? Ain't nobody worried about her. What does
So,
she need
well,
protection?
the vice president, President Trump and the administration said that, that detail isn't for a former vice president, especially after the term that they're supposed to have them. So, so that was some interesting news that I found very interesting here in LA. That still talks about some events may be moved out of LA for the Olympics because of the budget issue. Um, you know, pay attention to your jobs. Something that's going on too. The data loophole for a lot of people who don't know what that is. You may have some people reporting that the employment rate is low, meaning that people are hiring. The data loophole is some companies may make people conditional offers. You may be one of those people who have applied for a job, went through the whole process, got the offer, and it was like, say, March. And here we are in November, December, whatever. You're still waiting for a start date. So pay attention to the data loophole for you people looking for new employments or looking for places of new employments. That is a loophole to keep numbers down. Some people are on conditional offers, waiting for a start date, who are still working jobs. They're trying to leave. And I say that to say this, some people have got a conditional offer from an employer and they have put in a 2 weeks from their current employer. And some of them haven't had a start date for months, even a year. So this is something you got to pay attention to, along with, other stuff. Be aware. You know what I mean? Stay on top of your game, on top of your health. That's the main thing. You got to keep that in there because all the shit that's going on in life, period, work, everyday life, you don't stay on top of your health. That's the last thing you need failing when you got a bunch of stress on you is your health, because it's only going to get worse from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, before we get up out of here, man, we're gonna go around here, man. Rush, you got a few words for him, man. We're going into Veterans Day, man. Why don't you hit him off with some of that OG shit?
Well, I mean, I appreciate the service to all the veterans who served this our country, and for those who gave the ultimate cost. It's very much appreciated, and I hope they enjoy their day.
That's what's up. What's up, man? Before we switch over to vibes of a melanin queen, everybody need to laugh every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I found some funny stuff earlier that I found real crazy. It's a little 20-second clip, real quick. Check it out.
White shirt.
AI
you know
gonna
she
get
went?
somebody
The lady that was
hurt.
with you? No, this lady. The lady that you were with, you were talking to?
You sure that's me?
Yeah.
Well, that's you.
She was stealing. We're looking for her.
What? What is that?
And she was.
That's like a kid. That sure as hell ain't me.
Oh man, this AI is gonna get some people in trouble, man, and that is a perfect example right there. This dude is probably finna get divorced over AI.
Yeah, that AI is gonna be dangerous.
It
They
is.
need to learn how to stop that shit. Tell you the truth, this shit
I'm
getting too
sorry,
far.
dangerous.
Yeah, this shit getting too far, man. They can just create some total fake shit at this point.
Real talk. Hey, and real quick before we pass it on to you, vibes of a melanin queen. This is what I was telling y'all about Kamala.
Los Angeles Police Department ending its protection of former Vice President Kamala Harris after receiving criticism from the police union. That's according to the LA Times. The union argued officers should not be moved off patrols and cases to provide security for a multi-millionaire politician.
I mean, it sounds like they really just don't like Kamala, but I mean, it's a legitimate point.
So from a legal standpoint, it is legitimate.
Yeah, legally, yeah, it's legitimate, but I still think it's politically motivated.
Well, I mean, on
they
file,
have a stance against her, and so they don't want to do it. But I'm sure if it was another a millionaire politician who may have supported them or been more supportive of them, I don't think they would have the same feeling.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're right. Me personally, I think from a financial standpoint, that is just the fact that they don't have the money. California, LA don't, but yeah, it could be a. Yeah. But vibes of a melanin queen. You want to give them some news they could use?
Yeah. So first and foremost, enjoy our Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans for their service. Truly appreciate it. I would say let's stop being drunk without being inebriated. And what I mean by that is, what does a drunk do? They trip and stumble over unnecessary things. So let's try to make it a habit of getting out of tripping and stumbling over unnecessary stuff. Be mindful, be careful, and be awake. Learn to respect people, even when you don't think they deserve it, because you never know what a person is going through. A lot of the stuff that happen nowadays be just because of what a person said or how they said it. Just be mindful of your words. Learn to respect others like you want someone to respect you, and just be cautious at all times.
Yeah, you're right. Be cautious at all times. Watch what you say, because there's some people who do not forget words at all, man. It's just some shit that's going on nowadays that's just
Unbelievable.
and you just gotta fly right. But like I say, this West of the 110, man. Appreciate y'all for jumping on tonight. people for watching the comments. Shout out to my boy Musgrave. We got this Facebook trailer coming on. My boy Bill Spillum. That's the exterminator. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good thing. The Nate film coming along pretty well, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Enjoy your Veterans Day. Be safe. Don't be sorry. You know what I'm saying? Think about everything you do before you do it, because everything you do have consequences, whether they're good or bad. You know what I'm saying? It takes 30 seconds for you to get into some shit that may take you 30 years to get out of. So, you know what I'm saying? Real talk don't end. Just take a break, man. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy your day tomorrow. I will see y'all next week.
Like I'm in Las Vegas with a bunch of fucking chips. Like the breeze right by you, let the motor open up. I'm a 454, y'all niggas souped up. Flow winter like Colorado, know it be cold. I've been having money, niggas, since 10 years old. Nick Froze, not me, I ain't showing what I got. Niggas got some issues, me, I'm pimping parking lot. Everybody